Hi, my name is Cody Watson, and I'm going to give you a few tips on traveling to Portugal for business. Now, I'll apologize right now, I'm just getting over being sick, so my voice is a little raspy. Now, the one thing I've learned in all my research is that you must be prepared before you leave so your trip is safe but also productive. You'll be traveling as a representative of your company, so you must keep three things in mind as you make your travel plans: your goals, your priorities, and your company's hopes about what you will accomplish on this trip. What most people may not realize about Portugal is that it is a major container port that has easy access to an extensive cross-border trade with Europe, and the US has a long-time relationship with Portugal. The first hurdle for flying to Lisbon, Portugal, is to know that there are only 5 US cities that have direct flights. This will cause most people an extra plane ride and extra time added for their traveling to make their connections. Lisbon is the capital and it is 5 hours ahead of New York time. They use a 24-hour clock, which is what we call military time in the US. If it's 3 p.m. here, it would be 1500 hours there. So, you must be careful in setting up your business meeting times. The flying time from New York is around 10 hours, so be prepared for a long trip. Portugal doesn't require anything for US citizens but a passport that has at least 3 months left before it expires. There is no visa required. The currency that is used in Portugal is the euro. The current exchange rate is €1 to $1.19 US. Now you can't take more than 5,000 euros into the country, which is approximately $5,700, which is a lot more than any American usually travels with. But there are a lot of places that don't take credit cards in Portugal, and you must make sure you exchange enough money in the US before you leave to cover your initial expenses for transportation from the airport to your hotel and your first day's food. Now, as soon as possible, you can go to the bank and exchange for or cash traveler checks. They give the best rate of exchange. There is so much public transportation in Lisbon and so much traffic, it is a waste of money to rent a car. They have a metro, bus line, train, taxis, and even a subway directly from the airport to the downtown area. But what most people do is walk. Everything in the downtown area is so closely located that walking is the quickest way to get around. It will depend on how near your hotel is located to where your meetings will be held that will let you decide what transportation to use every day. Now, the main language is Portuguese. It is interesting to note that it is the 8th most used language in the world. Most local businesses in Lisbon have staff that are trained in English, and with Google and Apple apps that help with translations, you should be fine around town. But when dealing with the company's business people that you will be meeting, you are going to have to step up your game. The Portuguese culture is totally different from the American laid-back attitude in business today. First of all, you need to make sure what language the officials at the company where you are doing business are comfortable conversing in. You may need to hire an interpreter for your meetings. The Portuguese like to conduct business in an orderly, formal way and would not appreciate you looking up words on your cell phone during a meeting. It would also be a great idea to learn a few words of greetings and pleasantries so you can start out with a good impression when you meet them. Portuguese business people prefer face-to-face meetings over correspondence or emails, so if you're going down to do business there, you will be traveling quite a lot. They like people to be reserved and well-mannered. It will go a long way in helping you out to get a better and faster deal and help you keep a long-term profitable business relationship in the future if you show respect for their culture. Now, the Portuguese enjoy small talk, so don't try to avoid it and start the meeting on time. The Portuguese do business by building a relationship with a person, not just a company. So be prepared to spend time getting to know the people and their families before a business deal can be done with the company. Now, the Portuguese business people are very thorough and detail-oriented. Plans and deals need to be taken apart and analyzed to ensure the best outcome for both sides. It is not recommended to write anything down for you to insist on contractual agreement with a Portuguese business. Many business people consider this a slight against their reputation and trustworthiness. Time is not a consideration in a deal. They just want the deal to be the best it can be. Now, if you can be patient and not get frustrated, the better and faster this process will be for you. A few specific tips are that I have for you: dress conservatively but not cheaply. Fashion trends and clothes are used to show one's status and success in the Portuguese society. Arrive on time or even up to 5 minutes late, but no more than that or you will be considered rude. Expect to be kept waiting for up to 20 minutes for a meeting. This is not considered rude. It is good to note that the water is okay to drink. Now, the last tip is for travel anywhere these days. Check with the State Department before you leave to see if there are any warnings that have been issued for where you're going. This could be for anything from weather to terrorism. So always keep your passport on you, along with the phone numbers of the closest consulate. Make sure you have someone you can check in with every day, and so if you don't miss a check-in. Now, I hope you learned something about traveling to Portugal, and I appreciate you listening today, and thank you for your patience with my bad voice.